Thanks, Cahirley. All too often the system fails people, and it often fails the most vulnerable and those who can't speak up for themselves. And when the system fails the citizens, it is the responsibility of the state to acknowledge that it has failed and to give assistance and to right the wrong that has been perpetrated. In the case of Louise O'Keeffe, the state failed the citizen. It failed to protect her when she was in national school and failed to give assistance and protection when the abuse became known. And instead of the state acknowledging its wrong and its failure, Louise O'Keeffe had to take the state to the High Court, to the Supreme Court, and then eventually to the European Courts of Human Rights. And there the courts ruled against the state. But now the state is taking the narrowest possible view of that ruling. And Louise O'Keeffe herself said that she had been asked to attend a meeting with the government, and this was, as in her own interpretation, was to give a veneer that there was activity masquerading as action. Louise O'Keeffe has described the government's current behaviour as deplorable. Now, I seek an amendment to the order of business that the Minister for Education will come in and see why is the state continuing to fail to assist those who have been wronged and fail to get the protection that they rightly deserve from the government. I see from the government's legislative programme, which was announced yesterday, that one of the bills that was promised by Michael Noonan in 2012 is not on the programme, and that is in relation to the protection of the national anthem, which has ran out of copyright. And this, of course, 2016, the historic year that it is, I think it is important that the national anthem would be protected from any misuse or inappropriate use. And we will be publishing a bill, and hopefully the leader and the deputy leader would give government time for the passing of this copyright legislation, which would protect what is a national symbol and is deserving of protection. And I hope it will get cross-party support and that the government will accept our proposed legislation.
Can you clarify the amendment?
The amendment to the order of business in relation to asking the Minister for Education to come into the House to discuss the issue of the Louise O'Keeffe case and the European and the government's treatment of the European Court's ruling and its interpretation of it, its narrow interpretation of it. Thank you.